Gentlemen, welcome to Headkrack After Hours. This is a young lady who has been in the game for a long time, and she looking brand new like she just came out, yo. Ain't God and time good? Make some noise one time for the one, the only, Trina!
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm waking up still, but I'm up.
I see it.
I'm here.
You have a glow.
Thank you. I do?
Yes.
Called happiness.
What makes Trina happy in 2019?
Just life. I think you have to be the person that makes yourself happy. For me, I always just try to make myself happy no matter what environment I'm in, amidst work, whatever, relationships, anything. I just like to just be internally happy. I think that's the foundation of what keeps me going, is just being happy.
Got you. Now, your work ethic. Hella crazy.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of people who maybe came out like in the late 90s who don't necessarily drop as frequently as you do. Don't necessarily still travel, still not in the public eye, still at the tip of people's tongues, but you still manage to stay in the game. What drives you at this point? Because some people get burnt out.
You think? I think so. I think it's for me. I think it's just the love of what it is I do, and it's the fans, you know? Like if I don't be active with the fans, they start losing it like they my kids or something. They just be attacking me like, hey, where's the music? Where's the music? And, you know, it just be one of the things I have to, like, process it and deal with it as I go, kind of like, you know. And when I'm in the studio, it took, believe it or not, it's actually taken over 6 years to put this album out. We started, we stopped. I was in good space, bad space. Life is here. Stuff happens, you know. So I was, like, conformed into, like, not rushing but taking my time. And a part of me had left. Like, I'm not able to complete it because I'm mentally not there, because I'm dealing with just other stuff happening, just real life. When I say real life, meaning, like, stuff that happens in your life when it's not work. It's, like, it could be somebody in your family sick. It could be your kid, it could be your spouse, whatever. So I was kind of like pausing back and forth. And my friend Rico Love pushed me to the point and was like, oh no, we're not backing out this album. You're going to finish and complete this album. We're going to put it out. I don't care how long it take. And I actually got up the energy to finish the album, and I did. And then a whole bunch of other stuff started happening. Like the clearances had to be done. Right. All this different stuff. So it kind of, everything just kept happening and pushing me at once and just stopping. I had got like over it at a point. And I had to just like, you know, like look and think, like my fans have been waiting for this album. I was so ready to start a new album and just X out this one because it had become like this mock on me and everybody was waiting for it. And I was ready to move on because I had so much issues with this particular project.
Yo, I remember you coming back
a
couple years ago to talk.
And that's exactly about the same album.
But in that time, because I follow, because I rock with you for real, you dropped EPs.
I did the EP, The Blue Magic, yes, I did.
So that was
a stall of time again because the fans kept saying what's going on. And I was like trying to catch a new energy. The Blue Magic project gave me a new energy to be able to continue to put out the one because I was having so much difficulties, and the fans don't understand that. They just want to see music. They want to know what's going on. They got a whiff of this or a leak of that, and they don't understand that, oh, you can't put this record out if you didn't get the clearances from this label. This, or like, you got, it's certain stuff.
Yeah.
So it started becoming a lie, and I was just like, I was up to here with it, and I finally just, you know what, I got in the studio. It's the energy, and of course, Rico Love. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have finished the album. I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't for him, this album would not be out. He pushed me and like gave me a fresh energy, like to start over and to finish. And I honestly could say I needed it.
Well, it was time well spent.
Thank you.
It's a well-balanced album.
Thank you.
And even from a guest standpoint, there's a lot of people that show up on it that you'd be like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
You know that Trina had an affiliation with this person.
Yeah.
The Baps record got a lot of people
Baps
talking.
record with Nicki Minaj.
The record you got with Dave East.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite records, Can I Live? That was another record produced by Rico Love. And that was one of those kind of records, like, in that moment of feeling and the grinding, like, I've been doing this for years, like, can I live? Like, I'm still here. It was one of those kind of things. That's when it comes to, like, okay, I'm in the booth, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling the energy, I got to step into it, I have to make this done, I have to complete it. And I start going in different vibes. You know, it's the melodic, it's romantic, it's vulnerable, it's the raw, raunchy talk. But then there was that record, it was a whole different kind of vibe because now I'm in my... I'm here for a reason. I lasted. I'm doing my thing. I'm here. Like, give me the respect, the space, and that's how that record came about.
Yo, the thing about Can I Live, like on the first verse, you jabbing.
Yeah.
The Dave East rap, and Dave East doing what he do. Then on the third verse,
came
what the hell was going? Yo, what was on your mind when you was doing that third verse? Like, yo, it was like you was hooking on the third verse.
I think I had caught my second win. I think I had came into like a different feel. Like once I had realistically, when I had did the record, before Dave was on the record, it was just me on the I had only had one verse to the record.
Okay.
And so I was like, dang, I should just get another. Because I'm honestly at a point, I don't like to really do 3 verses on the record no more. I mean, that's just me. I know some people still do it. I know people beg to differ with that whole thing. But me, I just, 2 verses on the record, I'm cool with that. So I had the one verse, and I was like, well, we should put a feature. And I was asking Rico, was going back and forth. And we didn't really know. And I was like, I don't know. And then it just like out of nowhere, it was Dave East. Like, I was like, I got a record. I want you to get on this record because it was New York. You got a different kind of swag. It's totally different from Miami.
Yeah.
Total different sound, the whole total thing. So that's just how it happened. And once he did it, it was like kind of still short. So that's what made me come back like with the 3rd verse. And Rico Love was so pumped once the Dave East verse got on there. He was like, oh no, we got to finish this and kill this. Like, you got to come. And I just went into like the power, like, you know, like you the one, like you better go in there and do it. And I just kind of, that was the 2nd win that kind of kicked in.
Yeah, no, you went all the way in on that record. I was like, well,
Thank
damn,
you.
Trina. And then like shortly after, like I heard the project, I see you at Essence Festival.
Yes.
Killed it with like a live band and a DJ hybrid. And like people fail to realize how many big tunes you got in the stash.
I think so, because it's been a long time in the years, and there's so much stuff happening. Now we have so much social media network and, you know, Instagram, Twitter, all this stuff. And you're not really going back, or people's not really researching to say, oh, she got so many records or so many hits of all these different artists and all these different people. You're just going by current, like what you see currently. And some people just don't go back to the stash to kind of say, oh, you know, so I think once people do that, they'd be like, oh, okay, it's a different, you know?
Yeah, and like, you know, Miami, as it relates to music, sometimes can be like its own planet.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? Because like every time I go to the city, I'll hear records that I don't hear.
That you never hear, that you don't hear in Atlanta.
Once I leave the state of Florida.
Yeah.
And same thing with Baltimore.
Yep.
Same thing with DC, Chicago.
Yep.
It's a whole different energy. And I'm like, I want Trina to be great in all 50 states.
Thank you.
Because you know, you got the catalog and the records is there. Like,
you.
know, I know albums are like Children. No one ever wants to say, hey, this is my favorite child. But this album aside, because we got to big this one up because this is what we're selling right now.
Yes.
What is Trina's favorite child?
Childhood.
As far as music, like, you know, like out of all your albums are kids, which one's your favorite kid?
Oh, I would say Still the Baddest. That was like my favorite body of work before this project, because this project is more in depth and it means so. It was more personal to me.
Is that one with Here We Go on it?
No, Here We Go is on the 2nd album. This is the album that kind of got slept on. It was my last album on that label. My 4th album before the last, and it became, we was like in a transition through Atlantic Records and Slip and Slide. A whole bunch of stuff was happening, and this project was, to me, I was like in a different element when I did this project. And this was like my best records that I loved. And I didn't really shoot videos. I didn't really put the energy into the project. It was a tear and wear with me and the label. So there was a lot of stuff happening. So I felt like it was totally slept, and I was so hurt because of that. Because I felt like the 2nd album, the 3rd album, it was cool. I just went to work and went to the Diamond Prince. I went into all my little different phases or whatever. I wasn't really bothered with the records. I was just doing records and trying to develop. Like, I didn't want everything to sound like the baddest chick, the first album. So I was trying to make softer records, harder records, different, like just a variety of records. When I got to this project, though, I went into like the personal Trina. It was what I felt no matter what I was living. And it wasn't received that way. So it was one of those things that I was like, dang. So now when I came back with this album, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go in the studio and I'm going to just do whatever I feel like doing. It's my project. It's independent. It's a new project. I have all the creative control. I have the space. At this time, I did a deal with Sony. So I was thinking, nobody could really tell me how to run this space right now. I'm going to just go in here like this. But again, I was kind of stuck because, like I said, I was up and down. It was a lot of stuff happening in my life over these years. And all this with the album and it getting pushback and delays and all this stuff. I was kind of like, You know?
But I think that's the difference between you and a lot of people. Like, sometimes people just make records for the sake of making records. Sometimes people who are real artists need things to happen to them, good and bad, just so you can have something to say.
Yeah, not me. I'm always around different type of stuff. You know, I'm in Miami, so it's a whole array of things that's happening, and I live in the moment of what's going on around me. Whether we having a good time, we traveling, whether it's love, hurt, relationship, real. My friends it could be whatever. My friend could be getting divorced, and if that's the moment we're in the studio, we're gonna make a record, and I'm talking about the emotion because there's a lot of women go through it. So I'm always in the mode of what's going on around me, and I stay alive with that because I'm always traveling, I'm always seeing stuff and new things. So it's always something to talk about. It's always stuff that gives me ideas and it beefs me up to the point to where, okay, when I'm in the studio this time, this is what I want to talk about.
Got you. Now, random fact, one of my producers pointed out that you used to do real estate. What was the last time you sold a house?
Oh, well, this is what happened. I didn't sell the house, actually. I had just got my job. And in the job, I was like, I'm taking a client out to go look at a couple properties, and while I was taking her out, I got a call from Trick. Mm-hmm. And then Trick is loud and wild. He's early in the morning. He's like, hey, I need you to come by the studio. I'm like, bro, I'm at work. He's like, oh, you got a job? And I'm like, yeah, like people have real jobs in the real world. And he's like, okay, when you finish with your job, come by the studio. So I get off my job. I go show the lady the property or whatever. And I get off the job and I go to the studio where Trick is at, hanging out with him. Ross was there. A couple other people was there. And he's like, I want you to do this record. This is how the Nan record came out. And I just went and I was like, but do what? And he's like, I need you to just talk on the record. And I was like, okay. And I heard the record. I was like, well, let me hear what I'm going to be saying, what I need to say. So he played the record, and it was just Nan, but it was just the beat. And all you could hear was like, you don't know Nan. It was no Trick verses, no nothing. It was just that was the hook. And from Miami, Nan is like this little slang, it's from deep down south. So that's how Trick them talk. So I'm used to it. I'm like, okay, cool. But now I'm like, okay, well, what you going to say? Like, and then he goes in there. I didn't hear nothing. He said, when he came back out and I heard the record, I'm like, what the hell am I going to say after that? Like, are you nuts? Like, this is crazy. And so I went in there and my whole thing was just to like, kind of dominate what he was saying, but talk even dirtier, wilder, crazier, whatever. After I did that, the label called and was like, we want to sign you to the label. And I was like, oh, no, we're not doing it. I'm doing a favor, blah, 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 keep it moving or whatever. And after that, I did the record. And when I heard it like mixed and they put it together, I never went back to my job, to real estate.
Really? So before that, you wasn't even rapping?
No, it wasn't even about the rap. Now was the record was just for me to just talk and like put Trick like under the dirt, like just be that female that's gonna come through and like it's girl against guy. Like, okay, I'm the girl, I'm the sauciest chick in Miami. I gotta hold it down. I gotta like bury this dude. Like you can't really handle me not talking slick, and that's how it kind of happened.
Okay, so going from a person who's not a rapper to now all of a sudden everybody wants you to rap.
Oh man!
So what do you do? So like are you writing everything at this point?
Well,
do you have help?
So what happened is I go on the road with Trick. We went on like a tour. It was like a whole year I was on tour with him. And at that time I had the record. What's Your Fantasy also with Ludacris. So I had 2 records that was major. So I was working both of these records. So in this form, I'm on the road this whole year. I went tour. So what I would do is just sit in the room all day, and I would just have like the guys from the label, like Trey Plus 6, Money Mark, Ross, everybody just send beats of records, and I would just sit in a hotel and just write stuff to the beat. Even if it was off, even if it was crazy, I wouldn't do the hooks. I would just write whatever's on my mind, like all the stuff I'm sitting on the road. I would just write and talk. So this is how I created the Baddest Chick album. On the road this whole year with Trick, and I had as we was on the tour, and I had from the label, I had like a 2-month time frame to finish it from touring, getting back home in Miami. Half of the stuff I was like, I didn't know whether it was good stuff or not. I didn't know. I put it in the hands of Trick and Ross them to decide. Once I put all this stuff together, Ross would be like, oh no, that's too many bars. Take that off. Oh, this sound crazy, change it. So that's how I kind of like molded myself to do it. They would party and go out and have fun. I would sit in a room in a hotel with this pad and just be writing all kind of stuff. Stuff me and my friends do, stuff I saw happening, stuff going on in Miami, just everything that came to mind. And then that's how I created my album.
It's like real on-the-job training.
Yeah, it was definitely because I didn't drink, I didn't hang out, I didn't party. I just would go on the stage, my couple minutes and do my Nan verse, and I would get off. I would go to the hotel and I would just bang up in the hotel by myself in there in the hotel. One of my guys, CEO, he always don't hang out with me because he was kind of like the non-drinker too, non-partier. So he would be like helping me, and he'll be like, you just got to go hard. You just got to make this work. I know you nervous. I was nervous, of course. And I was just being here in this studio, in this room with this notebook pad with just a whole bunch of just writing. And these guys would be out like partying, having a good time. And then that was my job, though. Because, Trick, he don't have to do that. He could just go in the studio and do a verse. Me, I had to learn, so it was a little different.
Now, all that pressure created the diamond that you are today.
Yes, it did.
I
put
a lot of
work.
people had people putting training wheels on for them. And,
Nah, you know what? Because these dudes was so grimy. They would just have me in the studio with all guys. So I would bring my girls to come hang out in the studio with me and just being here. And I'll be like, come on, help me. What I need to say. Say, does this sound good? Oh, that's corny. What would we talk about? Like, stuff like that. So that was my whole little mojo and sauce of how I, created my whole project.
Now let's talk about your big brother Trick Daddy for a second.
Yes.
the weirdest love and hate relationship that I've ever seen in the history of hip hop. But that's what family do. Family gonna rock together for a minute, then they're gonna be mad at each other. Y'all were working on a project together. You was saying that you was burning them in the booth. Trick was saying that there was another reason why it wasn't coming out. Where is that project at? Where do y'all stand right now?
Here we go. Trick hates the Diamond Princess. He loves the baddest shit.
Okay.
He feel like the Diamond Princess was created to be the softer version of Trina. That's the real me. He knows that that's how I am on a regular day. I'm not going crazy, feisty. I'm not in the booth doing music, so this is a regular side. He don't like that side for music. He likes the aggressive, feisty, firecrackery. So doing a record, we recorded 4 records. We recorded 4 records. 2 of them already came out, the songs that we put out, and 2 of them is not out. We was gonna do 12 project. I do 4, he do 4, we do 4 together. His thing is he don't want me to be in the space of, because he knows I'm in this, like, I'm not really in the nan space. I'm in, it could be whatever.
Yeah, like
it could be nan, but it could be on a whole, because I've grown. You're
showing growth.
He don't want to understand that. He don't want to see that. He just know what he wants when he see in the booth. He came to my studio session, put the records down. He's like, okay, do whatever you want to do. But now when I go in the booth and I do this record, he loves the record, but it's kind of, can it be more grimy? Can it be more dirty? Can it? And I'm like, but you said you love it, and everybody else in the studio love it. So, but he has this control thing. He wants to be. He know what he's aiming for. He wants this baddest chick. He feels like all the new girls. Hey, this is why everybody sounds like you. This is why. And I'm like, but I don't care. I love that. Like, I'm happy. I love to see the girls come up. I love to know that I'm an influence. Like, that stuff is another thing that motivates me and keeps me going.
Dope.
Just to see that the respect they give back, to talk about it. So I'm not pressed with that. Him, on the other hand, this is where we are. This is where we go to the family fights. So now it went to the place. Okay, listen. I'm not recording no more with you. I'm going to just give you your space. If I'm going to do all my 4 records and the features that we have together, you do yours, you send it to me, I'm going to do my part. If you like it, you keep it. If not, because we're still at odds. We're never going to, like, fix it unless you respect the growth. I've grown, you've grown also. Like, you know, you still tricky on talk about what you talk about, but for me, in a woman's era, it's a little different. And you got to understand that. And I don't know. I think he probably gets it now after we had our whole blowout.
Right.
But at first,
so y'all back on speaking terms at least.
Of course, we've been back on speaking terms, because this is my family. Like, we get into it a lot. Me personally, I don't like the fact that we got into it and it's in the public. Mm-hmm. We've been getting into it for 20 years and nobody don't know
loud,
that.
Don't we? Like, why does everything have to spill into social media? Like,
you know what? And that's one thing that I do not do, because my arguments is always private. And me and Trick have been arguing for 20 years. Don't get it twisted. Everybody could possibly, I'm thinking, know that. But the fact that we did this television show, and the one thing that I don't like personally, and is with the television show, and we got into it and it's publicized. I'm not into that whole publicity thing. I'm not into publicizing our beefs and our arguments, because we're family and we're gonna make up. And people gonna judge and speculate and say whatever they gotta say, but they can't say what I can say to you, and they can't say anything about me and you. Like, that's our thing. So I just feel like, and after we got into it, I still got into it with him in private and cursed him out again. But he respects me now. He understands where I'm coming from, because I'm like, yo, bro, like, you pushed me to, like, the edge, and, like, this is a love. Like, this is my brother. I love you, but you gotta respect what I'm doing. If you don't do that, then it's never gonna work. Like, I'm not the same person that's 18 years old, like, when we first started. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand that. And he's like, oh yeah, I get it. But I just want the heart. I get it. But just, like, appreciate what I'm doing, and, like, appreciate, okay, I may not want to be that hard. I may want to give you something that's going to still be the same. You're going to still understand what I'm saying, but you got to respect the growth.
Yeah, Trick Daddy's like a cigarette without a filter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
for sure.
He's going to say, what do you feel? Like,
exactly.
and, like,
don't care.
with no tact, he doesn't care. But so, we love him for that. So, Love and Hip Hop Miami, is that coming back?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, the TV thing is cool for me. You know, I'm not the drama queen. I don't like all the drama and all that. After the whole block with me and
like
Trick.
throwing people over tables?
No, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to push no tables, throw no drinks or nothing like that. Just keep it, like, professional. The platform. I use the platform actually for the label, my label, Rockstar Music Group, just trying to get the artists on and just trying to get them on a different platform and just get them into this industry kind of, sort of. But other than that, I don't really care about it. I don't care my life, my personal life, my business, all that stuff. People see it. I don't really care to, like, over, like, saturate it.
Yeah.
I mean, the television thing is cool, but as long as it stay in a respectful fact, I'm cool.
Okay, now on the song Baps, right?
Baps. Mm-hmm.
This is for French Montana, Tory Lanez and Friends, Jay Harden, and you too, Mr. Martin. I curved y'all boys, no disrespect, but I curved y'all boys. Out of everybody in the industry, who have you sent the voicemail the most?
All of them. I mean, you know what? It is what it is when it comes with me. Like, I'm the most great person and I give respect. I'm never trying to diss or throw nobody under the dirt. And when I did that record, that was one of them records that's like getting your bag. It was just like one of those kind of things. We kept the same structure as the Juvenile. Shout out to Juvenile for that. And when I heard the record, when I got the record, Nikki sent the record. originally in the record is when it first original record is when they saying people name like girls name. That's how the original record. So I just wanted to keep the same strategy, but I didn't want it to be like the basic. This is for Bob, John, Jim around the street.
Make it relatable.
I gotta make it relatable. And these are relatable situations and relatable things that people can relate to and they know and they probably heard before. So I just used that and no disrespect, but this is what it is, and I just said it like that. And that's the mode I was in. I was in there. I called Nikki on the phone. I sent the record and she just went crazy, and that's just how it happened.
That's what's up. None of those dudes hit you, be like, "Oh, girl, come on."
They can't hit me.
Why, you blocked them?
I don't block. I just keep it moving. It's no access, no contact, no nothing. It's no, but I don't block.
Were you
people.
and Tory Lanez like a thing, like in real life?
Oh no. See, and Tory, I just use that as I threw Tory there. Tory is just like Tory and me are friends actually, but Tory is one of them. That's one of them situations when somebody try to maybe like a try to come on or something. You just got to curve the whole situation before it even gets started. Like one of them. It ain't never. It's not a situation that happened. It's something that let me curve this before it even go left.
You saw the love brewing in his eyes.
Whatever is in his eyes, get it out.
Oh, well, damn. Cool. So the new album is out right now. It's called The One.
Yes.
Are you going on tour?
I'm going on tour. I'm excited. I'm getting ready to get the tour together. I'm trying to see who else we should add on the tour. It's a lot of names is up in the pot right now. It's a lot of artists out. Everybody's bubbling. So I'm excited, to get some dope artists to join me.
Where now you came in just in time too, because there was a statement Jermaine Dupri made yesterday. I'm sure you heard about it, right?
I've been hearing some about it. I kind of misunderstood. But say it again. Let's
okay, hold on. I'm gonna play the audio for you.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff about that. I don't want to.
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna pull this up because I want to get your real time, real ground reaction to it. Okay. Hold on a second.
Da-da-da-da-da. In the rap game.
Cardi B, Nicki,
Females?
Megan Thee Stallion. Stand out to you.
I can't really say.
Not a Cardi B fan?
The reason why I can't say is because I feel like they all rapping about the same thing, and I don't think they're showing us who's the best rapper. I think they're trying to show, for me, it's like strippers rapping, and I don't, as far as rap goes, I'm not getting who is the best rapper. I'm getting okay, you got a story about you dancing in the club. You got a story about you dancing in the club. You got a story about you dancing in the club. Okay, all right. Who's going to be the rapper? So,
what does he think about the current state of female rap? And his thing was it's just a bunch of strippers rapping. No one's out here trying to be the best rapper. Okay.
She said, so who's one of y'all? So he's saying he don't know who's because I'm a little lost.
Just judging by the current landscape of female rap right now, he feels like most of the female rappers out right now are rapping about the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He says it just sounds like a bunch of strippers rapping. You think back in the 80s, early 90s, cats was trying to be more lyrical with it. You had MC Lyte barring it up, you had Brat barring it up, Bahamadia, but different levels of success right there.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, when you look at the Megan Thee Stallions of the world, the Cardi B's of the world, some of Nicki's stuff, City Girls, you know what I'm saying? And part of the DNA which you helped create.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So I got to step in strong with this comment.
Yeah, so what's your take on it? Because there are a lot of people who are not rapping like they're strippers.
Yeah, wait, because I don't get the whole strippers thing. What do strippers got to do with a bunch of strippers rapping? Because I don't think City Girls, Carisha's not a stripper. She never was a stripper. I don't really understand that part. What I would say though is this: you have. Don't try to knock the women that's coming up that's out here doing their thing. It was a vague, blank, dead spot. It was like Casper the Ghost on female artists for a moment, for a couple of, almost a decade. Mm-hmm. Now that these girls are coming into the game and doing their thing, I don't really feel like they should really focus so much on what they rapping about. Rap about what your life is, what's happening in your life. These are young girls. They having fun. They doing their thing. They out here traveling, getting their bag, securing their bag. They talking about what they see going on, clubbing, partying, getting fly bags, securing the bags, dudes being goofy, whatever is in your life, you can't, that's what you're talking about. You're not talking about Bible study if that's not what you're doing. You're not talking about being a lawyer if you're not going to school to be a lawyer. You're not talking about being a judge. You're talking about life, the lifestyle, having fun, doing your thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm listening to these girls, I'm listening to these songs, I'm like, you can't, the City Girls, you got #1 hits on the record
Yeah.
right now. I mean, and it's a genre that comes from under me. It comes from Miami, so they're bound to win. Like when I think of it, it's like Me All Over Again started in 1998. So of course I'm gonna support it all the way 100. When I hear them talking, yeah, it's raw, it's raunchy, unapologetic, it's saucy. It's not about trying to be the next bard lyricist or everybody don't want to be Jay-Z. Everybody don't want to be lyricist of the year. People just want to have fun, and that's the problem. Because believe it or not, what are these guys talking about? The same thing. Drugs, sex, money, guns, shooting, banging girls, getting on high. So what are they talking about that's so different than what the females are talking about? Girls are not talking about. They're talking about having fun, twerking, shaking their butt, having a good time. They're young. You're young girls under the age of 30 years old. What do you want to talk about? Like, you want to have fun. You want to be in the lively of having fun. The kids, when I think about it, first of all, men don't count. Women and kids are the ones that support and buy music. It's not men. And that's always been that way since I started out. That was the one thing I learned when I first signed to a label. When I look at my niece now that's 14, it's a whole replica of everybody that followed me when I came out that age. All they want to hear is this music, fun, having a good time, dancing, partying, whatever. Nobody want to be sitting up here like they're in Sunday school talking about he got the best bars and spitting 16. Nobody want to do 16 bars no more. Okay, 12 bars and we done with that.
Right.
So let's be very clear. The times have changed. Atlanta is the biggest change of music from the Migos, the whole culture. Everybody, it's not even. I hear people call mumble, whatever they call it, rap or whatever. But when you in the club, just think about it. If you're not in the game, when you're in the club, when you're in your car, when you're having fun, when you're at a party, you don't really want to hear so serious that puts you in a depression or like
no one wants to think in the club.
Nobody want to be thinking, oh my God, life is so serious. I have to hurry and get this done. My mortgage is gonna be due. You want to have a good time. You want to have a good vibe. You want to be in a good moment, and that's what the music is.
I do feel like the issue is the commercial landscape is a little one-dimensional. Because there are other people out there who have something else to say. Lizzo should get more support from black radio than she does. More white people support Lizzo than black people.
And I love her. I mean, she's dope and talented.
Tierra Whack, you up on her?
What was her name?
Tierra Whack out of Philly.
I never heard her, and I love Philly.
Trina,
Crazy.
she nuts. You would love
Tierra
her.
Whack.
You would love her.
Put that name. I gotta go check out. I'm always looking for the new girls, the new whatever. I don't care what they talking about. Like just the new music, new energy. Like what is it? It doesn't have to be the same type of music. Don't have to be talking about party music, but whatever it is, like you gotta just. These girls are creating their own lane. Of course, a lot of it is similar. I mean, it's women. It's only a certain amount of stuff that's gonna happen in a woman's life. You either got a bag you secure. It's about a dude. It's about love. It's about your girlfriend. Somebody crossed you. You talking about shoes, clothes, fun. You talking about life. You talking about having a kid. You talking about a baby daddy not there. Whatever you want to talk. These are life experiences though, and you have to allow people to go through that. Maybe in 5 years the subject changed. Maybe they'll be talking about something else because they have to go through. And this is what I was trying to explain the whole thing. What I'm saying with Trick. Same thing with me. It's not the same as when I did now. Some of the stuff I don't even care to I don't even care to go back to that because I've already grown so past it. And I'm already way over here. It may be great. Like some of the records I perform, like I'd be like, whoo, I don't even want to do this record. But when you drop in the club at my show, the crowd go crazy. You have to do it. It's one of those kind of things. So you have to just give people enough time. Most of these artists has been in the game for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Like you got to give them time to grow, evolve. Like, you know what I mean? Put their feet down, get their first. Some don't even have an album out. This is just like EPs and mixtapes and stuff. Like you got to give them time to like evolve and expand because again, like I say, when you listen to these guys' music, they're talking about the same thing, all of them. And just different voices. Whether it's auto-tune, hardcore rap, whether it's whatever, you talking about the same thing. How much money you got, holding money up, whatever, dancing. You talking about the same thing, nothing
repeats
different.
itself over and over again.
It's all to do with culture.
Trina, we love you.
I love you guys.
Thank
too.
you so much for giving us all that time and energy. Listen, album's out right now. Go pick it up. If people ain't following you, where do they go?
Follow me at Trina Rockstar on Twitter, Instagram, all social medias. Album is out right now in stores. The one. Stream it, download. I got mad features on the album. It's just a wave. I'm excited about it.
Yo, if we went to the same high school, I'd have been standing by your locker with notes.
With the notes, though?
Notes.
Me and my friends is going to probably jump you then, huh?
well, damn. Then I had transfer schools. I don't want to get my heart broken.
Nah.
One time, y'all, for Trina.
Thank
The
you.
album is out right now.